early. I'm across the path from the Circle K, which I will be working at 10 o'clock. So today's live stream is going to be about 10 minutes shorter than normal. Because, I got to grab my shirt, got to shut the computer down, put everything away, and try to walk in, 5 minutes early and get badged in and go to work. Then this afternoon or this evening, to most of you, the 6 p.m. Eastern show will be on time and for the full hour, if not longer, from right where I'm sitting right now, although maybe I'll pull the chair out and either camp out in the front of the truck or on the tailgate. I can show you around here a little bit. I'm on Garden Street, and then that's kind of the main street that goes through downtown Bisbee. I'm about 4 or 5 blocks from where all the action usually happens, straight downtown. And then across the street here is my water bottle and Rudy. Well, the Circle K, and on the side of the Circle K, they got a cool mural. I can probably do a better shot of it this afternoon. But this is working out good. I'm in the front seat of the truck. And I'm comfortable. The seat has some issues. Yesterday, it actually slid out of the truck. The brackets have broken underneath. Now, this is not the original bench seat or nothing like that. It's a split seat that the previous owner put in here, and it was held down by, it was basically bolted to the floor through some wooden boards, and they're just pine, nothing special. Well, all the bumping and, some of the roads that I drive on, it's like, put it in 4-wheel drive. We're going up this mountain. And you shake around and things, the board snapped. So I'm going to probably have to do something different with maybe using oak boards, or who knows, maybe eventually I'll just get a whole original seat. Joe mentioned that he might be able to find the original seat or find one that would go in here. That'd be kind of cool, have the original bench seat. Not as comfortable maybe as this one, but I can make it comfortable. I got, back pillows, stuff like that. So I'm not using the back pillow right now because it's not really needed. I'm a lot closer to the steering wheel and the pedals and all of that. The one thing I bummed about, I got to have to try maybe do some adjusting to the clutch pedal, the throwout bearing. It's really stiff, for one. But number two, I have to push it all the way to the floor on occasion, and I bump up against the dimmer switch. That's a pain in the butt. 10:15. Okay, good to see you. Carl and Linda's here. Brene is here. Nancy's here. Welcome aboard. I loved what you said about that farmer. Let's see, I think that was my last video. I can't remember. I didn't do any videos yesterday. I thought about it. I thought, no, I'm too dang busy. Yesterday, night before last, when I pulled into my campsite, I could hear air hissing out of the left rear tire. So, this is not good because I don't have a spare. I still don't have a spare, but there's a story there. So I thought, I got out and I checked it out and think, wait, it might be a rim leak. So I got in and backed up a foot further. Wasn't hissing anymore. So I thought, yeah, rim leak. Wasn't flat the next morning. I was like, yay, I'll make it to town. And then I'll go to the tire store and, have them seal it. I'm going to buy another tire. I made it to the bottom of the mountain and it blew out. I mean, it blew out. There's hardly anything left of that sucker. But I had a place to park, and then I'm sitting there thinking, well, yes, happy Memorial Day to all of our veterans, for sure. Carl's doing 3 jobs, semi-retired. Yeah, this shirt's got to stop. I mean, so I'm sitting there, okay, what am I going to do? I tried to get a hold of Jill, but I couldn't get a hold of her. And that she did finally answer, but by that time, another lady had come by, said, do you need help? And I said, well, yeah, kind of. I need to take this tire and take it into the tire store and go to work. And I need to be there by 10. Said, okay, I'm going to go walk my dogs and then be back, is what she said. Well, yeah, I was starting to get nervous, but sure enough, she came back. We threw my tire that I had that blew out, 2 weeks ago in New Mexico, put that in the back of her car, and she dropped me off at the, or we dropped the tire off at the tire store, and then she took me to work. We had a nice conversation. We've exchanged phone numbers. She's from Minnesota. And who knows, I may cross paths with her again. Very, very nice lady. So then I worked yesterday, and sure enough, got off of work, walked over to the tire place, and my tire was done, $60, not bad. And now I'm thinking, okay, I got to get back to my truck, about 10 miles, back to the Canyon Road, Car Canyon. And so I sat there and I'm like, okay, tried getting a hold of Jill. Well, no, I couldn't get a hold of her. And so then I tried getting a hold of the lady that helped me. Couldn't get a hold of her either. So now it's getting close to closing time. You know, these guys close at 5 o'clock. I've been sitting there since a little after 3. Trying to get a ride. And finally, I asked one of the workers, I says, any chance you could give me a ride to my truck? Yeah, no problem. A young boy, or not boy, young man. He's probably in his, 25, 26 years old. Has this really hot car. But anyways, he loaded the tire in the back, and I tried to pay him for gas. He wouldn't take any money for gas. His name is Jordan. I'll recommend him and his employers, Mike, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they own D&M Tire in Sierra Vista, 501 Fry Street. Totally recommend them. And so they've been there for like 35 years. So yeah, then I changed my tire, and I only had 2 miles to go back to camp. And this morning I got up early and everything's fine. And here I am in Bisbee. Oh, last night there was one thing I still couldn't do. You know, I changed the tire, did all that. But there was one thing I couldn't do. I couldn't put the bad tire back on the front of the truck, on the spare mount, if you want to call it that. I can't lift it. And guy come along, you know, I was just kind of getting the old tire off, and he says, you need help? I said, no, I'm good, but I will need help putting this tire back on the front. It's okay, I'll be back after I walk my dogs. What is it with everybody walks their dogs at Car Canyon? And just before he showed up, another guy came along. His name was Justin. I'd seen his car back and forth several times because I've stayed at Car Canyon several times. And so I'm sure he lives on Car Canyon Road somewhere. But anyways, his name was Justin, and he helped me. And then the other guy came, and he helped Justin. Together they got the tire on and put the bolts on and everything. So now I'm ready for the next tire, which will end up being a spare. They did not have. I would have bought one yesterday, but they didn't have any. But Wednesday is when they get their shipment of tires. So Wednesday I have to work double shift, but I should have time in between shifts. Or maybe, well, I won't have time. I'll have to go probably Thursday morning and say, hey, did you get any of this size tire in? Hope they did. In fact, where I have to work on Thursday, I could leave the truck with them and walk to work. Only about a mile, maybe 2. I can walk that far. Yeah. Or maybe Justin will give me a ride. I don't know. Cody, welcome aboard. Well, let me look here. Go scroll up. Bad juju. Hell no. It was just close to Wilcox, Arizona. I think Wilcox, Arizona is bad juju. But the place where I broke down was ridiculous. But no, actually they were nice people. They let me stay overnight and all that, in the parking lot. All right, I'm trying to scroll, make sure I haven't missed anybody. Renee, William, Nancy. Traveling on Adventures. Earl, Terry, welcome aboard. I only saw Terry last night for a few minutes. I managed to get on there right towards the last 20 minutes. That's pretty cool about Kenny being engaged. I didn't know that he met a lady on a cruise. Kyle told me that he met a lady on a cruise and now they're engaged. Wow. There's hope for me yet. Oh. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I just, my experience has been there's good people everywhere. I have not had any problem. And this truck does not lock, So my truck sat there for 10 hours off of Highway 92. Nobody bothered it. Everything was exactly the same as I left it. Keys in the ignition. Of course, where are they going to drive with no tire? Yeah, I've been burned a few times in my life. Yes, I've had things stolen. Sadly, but then I've tried to have the attitude that okay, that person needed money desperately, so he could buy drugs, or for all I know, maybe he's had to steal to pawn something and buy bread and peanut butter to feed his family. I don't know. I always figured there's a reason for everything. One might be to teach me something. And hopefully it's taught me that not to be a poop head about everybody. Ron, welcome aboard. Kenny's here. Welcome aboard. Just mentioned you about your announcement last night. Congratulations. What was I talking about? I was talking about how jealous I am of Kenny. No, when bad things have happened to me, I realize it's got to be a reason. And if there isn't a reason, there really is a reason, because that person who stole from me is going to come back on them. Do I need to be vengeful? No, not at all. The Lord will take care of the vengeance. He even says so, and he does. I felt really bad. It was a few years, been a while. And Ron is here, Rose is here, Kenny's here. This is great. Oh, really, Ron? I didn't have a signal. I couldn't go on. I couldn't watch Netflix. I couldn't watch anything last night. I barely caught up with Tina's thing. It glitched in and out. It's William. Yo. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I will. Okay. All right. Thank you, William. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, William. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. As said, all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. It's true. Hide the body. That's cute, Kobe. Wholesale. You'll survive, Carl. I know you will. Oh, Dirk is here. Welcome aboard. Okay. And on an important note that I was just reminded of, it's Memorial Weekend, and Monday is Memorial Day celebrated. But this whole weekend, we need to be reminded of all those who have served, those that gave their lives for this country. And remember, don't forget. Can't forget. Take some time, visit the cemetery. Remember those who have served, especially. Mine was not a military family, while my brother-in-law was military. He served in Korea. For some reason, my family was on the cusp of where we couldn't serve. I mean, we served in other ways. And I'm certainly not ashamed of not having served. I was never even a conscientious objector, so to speak. People thought I was a draft dodger. No, I tried to enlist when I was 17 years old, going on 18, still in high school. I tried to enlist in the Air Force. They wouldn't take me. I said, "Well, I'm not here to fly a plane. I want to serve. I want to, serve my country." This is 1969, Vietnam War. Teach me to repair planes. Teach me to cook. Whatever. I want to serve my country. No, got to have 20/20 vision, son. Sorry. What do you mean, sorry? I want to serve my country. I left the Air Force recruiting station with a bad taste in my mouth. Well, things went along, and I continued high school. And then in my senior year of high school, they had the lottery. And I thought, well, here we go. They took up to number 6, from 0 to 6 in the lottery drawing for the military draft that year, which was 72. And my number came up 368. No, it wasn't 368. It was up there. It was in the 300s, like 343. I can't remember the exact number. But there was no way you're going to go from 6 to my number. And so I wasn't drafted. So therefore I wasn't a draft dodger. I was not drafted. And then, not long after that, the war ended, so to speak. I totally respect the military. And I respect other branches of service, if you will, too. Our first responders, our police force, our ambulance people, firemen. My gosh. There's a lot to be grateful and memorable, or remember those who gave and those who are still giving, in a manner of speaking. There are still conflicts going on in the world events. And of course, there are still every day somebody's lives are saved by police. I've been saved twice by a police officer. Twice. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the police force. It is true of, EMTs, firefighters. My house was on fire one time, and while they were fighting the fire, a few of the extra firemen, rather than standing around, they went into my house and started pulling out some of my antique clocks and brought them out to me and put them in my van. They saved my clocks. There was no people in the house and no animals. The cat was out. The cat was with me while the house burned. Hazmat ready. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Kenny. I'm probably missing things in chat. Diane's here. Welcome aboard. You joined the Air Force. I see you, Linda. Thank you, William. Okay, the tears just started. I am very grateful for that remark, William. I wanted, but I guess there had to be a reason why I wasn't called. I certainly had experiences. As said, I was accused of being a draft dodger. People in Arkansas are funny back in the 60s and 70s. I was the damn Yankee. Took a welder, put you in medics, and off to Nam. 67, 68, 69. Whoa. There was a lot of weird things that I heard about going on in Vietnam. Here's another thing that I kind of look at it too. I have a couple friends that were in Nam. One of them came back from Nam and turned into a total jerk. He was on drugs. And sadly, he hurt his wife. I wanted to kill him for that. But because I had dated her before he married her, damn it. But eventually things straightened out for him, and I've certainly forgiven him, and because you got to. The Lord forgives, so why can't we? Anyways, and then another one, he did not recover. Sadly, well, maybe thankfully, the Lord took him. But he was totally strung out on, uh, I don't know what, I don't know if it was heroin, what he was on, something. Uh, when I talk about family, my dad tried to enlist in World War One. He was born in 1906. He tried to enlist in World War One, but he was too young. So then the years went by, and now here comes World War Two, and they wouldn't take him because he was too old. He did learn to fly. He wanted to join the Air Force badly enough that he was hoping that they would change their minds about old guys wanting to enlist in the Air Force. I don't think they had the 20/20 vision rule back in World War II. This is a true story. My father went to Willow Run Airport in Detroit, Michigan, and took flying lessons. Guess who his instructor was? If you know anything about the Air Force, and then she's a very pretty girl. Whoo, I love her hat. Stevie Ray Vaughan hat. Anyway, my dad, was at Willow Run Airport taking flying lessons from a World War I flying ace named Eddie Rickenbacker. True, very true. He got his pilot's license. Never got to serve, though, as far as wartime. Oddly enough, my sister and I, we went to a friend of ours who, unfortunately, right now is battling cancer. Oh, that's another thing I want to bring up. But it's a longtime friend of our family. And my sister and I went there for, I forget what we were looking for, car part. And in the garage, up on the hoist, was this beautiful Rolls Royce. I forget what year. It was like a 78 or 79 Rolls Royce. And our friend was working, he's doing a brake job on it. And Rolls Royce brake jobs are a lot more complicated than they are on a standard car. Okay, they got dual discs, dual calipers for the rear brakes, and yeah, it's a pretty complicated system. And my sister said, well, whose car is that? Because we don't have too many Rolls Royces in our neighborhood. And he said, oh, this is the Rickenbackers family Rolls Royce. What? My sister's going, what? Yeah, this is Mrs. Rickenbacker's. Eddie had passed away, but he had purchased this Rolls Royce for her before he passed away. I mean, this is the kind of Rolls Royce that you have a chauffeur. Wow. But then it was just brought back all those memories for my sister and I of Dad telling us stories of being taught to fly by Eddie Rickenbacker. So that's pretty cool. All right. Speaking of cancer, unfortunately, for those of you who may not know, Ricky has been diagnosed with cancer. And I mean, it's pretty full-blown cancer. Ricky is, Barbara put it on Facebook, and it's been, I just got the notice today, but fortunately other people got the notice sooner. But yeah, RV underway, which is Ricky and Barbara. Well, Ricky, now both of them are military too, by the way, Navy. Anyway, they're going to hit it hard with radiation and with chemotherapy after that. The doctors are confident that he's going to have many, many more years. Now, I'm scared because, not to be a naysayer, Carl, but I have seen people not last very long after undergoing chemotherapy. I'm just saying. In the meanwhile, regardless of my thoughts about chemotherapy, please pray for Ricky and Barbara. Why do I think that way of chemotherapy? It's because I've witnessed it. My sister probably would not be here had she gone through chemotherapy. She has had cancer 21 different times since she was in her early 20s. All different kinds of cancers. Every one of them, she went under the knife and got rid of the cancer. Just to wait and get a different kind of cancer. Thank you, Kitty. Yes, they definitely need prayers. We all do. I totally believe in the power of prayer as well. Prayers do cause miracles. But, lately we've had all this hoorah and all these people coming up, and some of them I think are telling the truth. Some of them are acting from experience. Yes. You've got The Secret, then you've got Jake Dulce, you got a few other people out there, purporting and, yakking about the law of attraction, synchronicity, 369, you name it. I mean, it's just going on and on and on and on. I believe that every bit of it is true, but my mind, I put it to the workings of God. The power of prayer. Hello? Christ told us that you can move mountains if you have faith the size of a mustard seed. Those daggone mustard seeds, you can't hardly see them. But if your faith is that big, you can do awesome things. We can do immensely awesome things if we work together. Brother has fought 7 times and won. Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, my sister is a true story. She's got cancer again right now. Actually, this one is not a new one. This one she's had for a little bit. It's in their lung, and they can't do the knife. So she has been going through radiation treatments. And it got smaller for a while, and then now it's gotten bigger. And so she is fighting that. She is going through more radiation treatments, or it's not radiation. I don't know what it's called. It's got a name, treatment. But I think radiation is somehow involved with it. But she's like, okay, she's ready. If I'm going, I'm ready. So I think she's going to stick around for a little longer and be a pain in everybody's ass. All right. Let me scroll here a minute. Thank you, Rose. Your kidney function, what? 4%, 34 and 20. You're right, Diane. Isn't that just absolutely freaking incredible? I look at this thing up here and I joke about it. There's my pack of cigarettes that they embedded in me. Actually, that's the battery sticking up. The controller thing is just down here a little bit. And there's 3 wires that run from that controller to my heart. One of them is a kill switch. Yes, I have. This has its own ISP address, and if you get a hold of it, you can control what's going on with my pacemaker. What a blessing. Now, a lot of people don't trust doctors. Diane and I kind of get skeptical as well about doctors. And take this pill, take that pill, take this pill. Now, I have a friend whose brother is a doctor, and he says, we're all getting kickbacks on these pills. And the other thing is, we don't 100% know if it's going to help you. We think maybe. So, a lot of us for years, and some of us still, are freaking guinea pigs for the doctors. And have you guessed the channel yet? On the other hand, we'll even pray for the doctors to use the wisdom that God has granted them, along with their education and experience, to help people. And there truly are doctors who truly want to help people. And thankfully, I won the lottery when the doctor said, you really could benefit from a pacemaker. Well, you know what? The first time I heard about it, I said, bull crap, I don't need that. Give me a beer. Seriously, I was totally against it. I don't need that shit. About a year and a half later, I'm like, you remember when we talked about that pacemaker thing, Doc? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are you ready? I said, well, maybe it can't hurt. I said, when can you do it? He says, how about tomorrow morning? I think that was important, that how about tomorrow morning? And sure enough, it was outpatient surgery. I was actually still at the hospital. They were going to release me, but instead they kept me overnight and I went into surgery to have this put in. I was awake for part of it. Amazing. Amazing. And when I say I feel 19, I'm not joking. I do. Well, mentally. But seriously, I was probably walking dead 2.5 years ago. And now I'm certainly not dead. I can still walk, at least a little ways. Whereas before, I couldn't walk across the street to the Circle K. I wouldn't even be able to do this job had I continued the way I was 2.5 years ago. Does God work miracles, Diane? Yes, he does. And everybody else, I hope you heard what we said. Kill switch, yep. That's what it is. See, I better be on my best behavior because they just go, goodbye. My brother's a mortician. He'll be coming to pick you up soon. How's your insurance? Where's your life insurance policy? Uh-huh. Mr. and Mrs. Oaks are coming soon. Whoa, cool. Oh, I see what you're saying. That is totally awesome, Kenny. Are you going to walk around naked in front of her? Good thing we're not live. Wait, we are live. You're not here on the live because I bet you're just laughing your ass off right now. Oh. Nancy guessed the channel? She probably did. And I've missed it. Person got married, works for the government. A cop. The girl works for an NGO. Or the tube side. Dog. Good one, Carl. Pound Carl's problems. Oh, okay, we can hashtag those. I got to keep an eye on the time. I got 20 minutes. I got 10 more minutes to be here, then I better shut her down because got to go to work. Timmy Ray, welcome aboard. So, do I need to buy a scratch-off ticket for you, Nancy? Sock on it. Timmy, I gotta tell you, Kenny is engaged. He's getting married. So you know what? There's hope for you and I. Yeah. I still like that girl's hat. Yes, her hat. Well, the rest of her is pretty nice too, but I like the Stevie Ray Vaughan hat. Oh, not happening. That's hilarious, Kenny. Uno. So Nancy, if you're here, tell me the channel because I'm not going to bother to scroll up anymore. It's too depressing. If you did guess the channel, it's all because of only one clue. Because we haven't even talked about who the featured channel is. So if you guessed it from one thumbnail, that's incredible. I'll have to say you're the one with the photographic memory. But I certainly like what you had to say about my neighbor. I can see right through him. That was excellent. I said he didn't have any skin in the game. You said you could see right through him and he's gutless. Yeah, my neighbor's a skeleton sitting on a Ford tractor. Amazing. That's right, Timmy. Maybe not for you and I today, but there's always hope. Let's just have faith. I'm so glad all of you came in this morning. We're having a blast. Just having a blast. Bob, a lucky dog. Oh, I see. Your guess is Bob Pierce. Is it Pierce? I think so. Of Lucky Dog Productions. Excellent guess. You know, the dash cam type thing. And da 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 da. And sorry, it's not Bob. So I don't have to rush in and buy you a scratch off ticket just yet. Maybe tonight. Renee, you missed a lot. But actually, you were with us the whole time because of your faith. We've been pretty much talking about how if we have faith, we can work miracles just like Christ did. We just have to have that faith. And I can't say that I have this faith enough to move that mountain over there. Did that mountain just move? Mountains being a symbol of things like Ricky's cancer, let's say. I'm convinced that enough of us pray that we can help Ricky beat this. So let's make sure we do that. No, we're not going to call it an experiment. Everything's going to happen according to God's will. But it sure can't hurt to offer up prayers to the Lord for the things that are important to us. That's right. That's right, Rose. Echoed just exactly what I just said. Does the skeleton have a name? You're going with Bon Jovi. That is good, Nancy. I was thinking something along the lines of Bone. Bon Jovi is actually pretty daggone good. And then, we could pretend that he's a gentleman farmer. And then actually he was a retired doctor before he bought his arid desert ranch in Arizona. I bet that Ford tractor's not native to Arizona. I bet it came from Missouri or somewhere. Probably came from Michigan. Anyway. Wait, I think tractors are made in Indiana, aren't they, Diane? Aren't a lot of tractors? Massey Ferguson and Case, and I think even John Deere is manufactured in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. There you go. Kiss is better. Well, we're talking about a name for the skeleton. I took a video to me of a skeleton sitting on a Ford tractor not far from here and made a little video about it. Look it up. Okay, 3 more minutes. That's right, Ford man. That is totally right. And once again, there is a song about it too, and it's based on a Bible verse. Is it Ecclesiastes? A time for this and time for that. It's all God's time. Skinless. That's a good one, William. Skinless. Maybe he's a skinwalker. Where is Skinwalker Ranch? I know it's out west somewhere, but I think it's north of here. Maybe Utah or Montana. I don't know. I know it's where they see orbs and they have cattle mutilations, and Skinwalker Ranch is the name of the place. And I really don't know exactly what they're talking about. Phenomena, poltergeists. I don't know. Bluesman Bones. That's a good one, Rose. Bluesman's Bones. I did have it going through my mind that I should have set it to music. Dun 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 dun. Excuse you. Dun 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 dun. Some guy just walked by blowing his nose. Dun 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 dun. Bump bump. Green Acres. Skinless mower rider. I like that too, Linda. We have certainly evolved, haven't we? We've gone from guess the channel to name the skeleton. Oh, okay. Close enough. I have 9:49. You after it, I know. Pony more pony. So I definitely get ready for work, and I will see you again at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll put up the thumbnail right now. Okay, mateys, thank you for being aboard. Enjoy your afternoon, and I'll see you later on. In the meanwhile, fair winds and smiles, and may God bless. Thank you for being aboard.